Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gemma's Window. If you have followed the calculations in the box below, or jumped onto my website at gemmaswindow@gmail.com and followed the calculations and determined you are a power year number 5, then you're at the right place. Hi, you fives. Now, fives, you only have to calculate your power year number once for the entire year of 2021. Every month, your number changes, and that's where I come in. So, fives, in this month of March 2021, you are in the month of 8. So, month of 8. So, while I'm shuffling these cards, and we're going to start with business, then go to love, then go to any question that you have. Let me just refresh what these numbers mean for you. Now, a year of 5 is about a year of potential adventures, travel, changes that you determine to make and that the universe may determined to make for you. It's also 5 is about communication and writing. Being a good writer, perhaps you're presenting something somewhere, or some kind of communication comes to you that's very, very important. So the month of 8, now 8 is your most karmic number out of the cycle. And it can be rewarding you, it can be punishing you for past karmic debt in this life or another life. So it can get a little tricky. It can be a great month for finance. It can be, a windfall might come your way, or it's a great month for you to ask for that raise. Yes, there's always the potential for a reversal of fortune too. But we're going to stick to the more positive things, and we're going to keep our fingers crossed and hope for the best, fives, okay? The other thing about 8 is not to be a victim anymore and to take your power back into situations. So let's take a look at our fives who are working. And then we're going to take a look at our fives who are looking for work. Okay, so if you're a 5 and you're working, I have my card that talks about other people getting laid off around you, and you don't, and you get the headache of not enough staff and picking up other people's projects or workload. And as much as you dislike this, it actually is going to lead to very positive results for you. I have the victory or promotion card. So, by somebody else's negative issues, it looks like some of you are going to be rewarded with something positive. So that's very interesting and to the point. And if you're a 5 who is looking for work, it looks to me like this reading is trying to let us know that perhaps you are not putting yourself out there quite as much as you could. It looks like you're being very picky about where you put your applications out or whom you're applying to. It looks like you're kind of maybe cutting off your nose to spite your face a little bit. And it looks like who you have reached out to or who you are depending on is kind of holding back for whatever reason. It can simply be because, things are at a standstill with this pandemic and you're not hearing from them. But there's more to it than that in your reading, is to get your eggs out of the basket or few baskets that you've put them in and reach out and really stick your neck out and go for it. And maybe if you're saying, well, no, I have reached out to a lot of people, this reading might be saying to you, yes, but not for the right things, or not for the right job, or broaden your horizons, or look for more options instead of sticking to the same job type, say, or exact job or exact town that you're looking for, or towns. Broaden your horizons to get what's coming to you. And it is a major arcana card here that you have, so that it should move fairly quickly for you once you do that. Now, you're in a great month of finance here, so you might at least hook onto a position and then start it come April or May, because then you're moving into the month of 9 for April, which is endings, and May, which is our new beginnings, which would be that starting that new position. So that's the advice for our fives right now when it comes to work. Let's take a look at love. And so our fives, if you are in a relationship or you're looking for a relationship, we're going to take a look at what's the best that we can expect in this month of March, this month of 8. Now, 5 is about, like we said, changes. So it's not necessarily the most romantic year out of your cycle. You're actually getting ready for that next year in 2022 when you're in the year of 6. But let's take a look and see what we have here. Because certainly people in the year of 5 are in relationships. It's just that it's not one of the dominant features of the year of 5. So we're taking a look at people in a relationship, then we're taking a look at people who are looking for a relationship. You know, it's funny, I have to say, there's always a theme to readings. It's like I'm using 3 different decks, and yet I'll pull the same cards out all the time in a day's work, kind of thing. And well, we're going to get to that point in just a moment. So, for those of our 5s who are in a relationship, you have a solid thing going. You have the perfect partnership card here happening, but it's surrounded by a little bit of unhappiness. For one thing, you have a feeling of loss. So you may have lost something. You may have stumbled onto some hardships. Someone may have lost a job. Someone may have lost money in some which way. Someone may have lost a loved one. And you're kind of hurting and smarting from that still. And then you move into the mixed signals card. It's like my Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde card, where you're getting these, mixed feedback or mixed signals. So I feel like you're going through a period of time this month of upheaval if you're a power year number 5. Now, the 8 means for the month is to take your power back and to not be a victim. So that means to take responsibility for what is your doing. So in any of this unpleasantness, stop blaming and take the responsibility that is yours to try to get to the other side of things, and let your partner take the responsibility for what is their problem. And let the people who are around you, who might be creating conflict around you, which are causing or part of the upheaval, take responsibility for what's their part in it. And that is how you take your power back, by not blaming. By not blaming anymore. And that's what the reading is talking about. It happens to be your number for March as well. Now, for those of you who are looking for love, Um, this is the card that I keep picking up, and it's just about having some patience and giving credit in the love department where credit is due, and that someone can be coming into your life, but it's about you trusting. It's about you trusting and giving them a few minutes to impress you rather than just cutting them off. Um, After that is they may disappear for a while, or they may need to take a break, or that you meet them right before they're starting a project or going on a trip, or they have to tie up a few loose ends before they get back to you. Trust that if it's meant to be, it will be, and keep the door open, because for some of you, maybe all of you or a lot of you, the person's going to be coming back. But it's kind of like, it looks like you have this self-fulfilled prophecy here where it's like, oh, they're not going to like me. Oh, it isn't going to work out. Oh, people always say they're going to call and then they don't. And it's like, no, you have to, if it was, you don't have to do anything, but it's a suggestion that you take your power back in this month of 8 and you say, no, I have to give everybody the benefit of the doubt because I can't taint them with my own cynicism or my own bad luck that I've had. These are all, fresh people perhaps who I don't know, or maybe is this a message about somebody that I met 2 months ago and that they may indeed be, still interested? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Give yourself and give others the benefit of the doubt. Try to raise your spirits, try to raise your confidence, and just approach everyone as a clean slate. Okay, 5s. Let's go on to any question that you have at all. So just think about, you can ask about job again, you can ask about love again, you can ask any question that you want. Oh, yes, and we just had a card fall out, which happens to be a really, really good card. And so the more specific your question is, the more specific I will be in giving you an answer. Okay. Wow. Wow, wow. 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 Okay, whatever the issue is, you are at the end of it. You're at the end of the waiting, or you're at the end of the fighting, or you're at the end of the wondering. And that is a very cool thing. You've gotten the Sun card. That's the card that fell out, and that's the card that says that the universe wants you to move forward. They want you to move forward. So whatever your question is and what your hunch is, whether it's yes or no or maybe, the universe is saying, well, I don't want to say if you're getting, I just want to be clear that if you have a strong hunch, of a yes, no, or maybe, then the universe is saying yes. Overall, the universe just wants you to move forward. And that can be away from a situation. And it looks like you had or are in the midst of one big final hurdle. And you're like, let me just get to the end of this. I'm going to be okay on my own. When I'm on my own, when I handle this subject matter, and the worrying that you're doing about someone else, and that can be a partner, it can be your children, it can be people that you work with. It's going to go away. It's going to go away. I really do feel like this is a bit of a repeat of what I've already said during your reading. In this month of 8 is to claim what is really your job, is really your responsibility, is really the blame that you are willing to take responsible for in a situation, and then step away. Step away from it and let the dust settle and let the pieces fall into place because for you, because that's going to happen. It's like no matter what I say right now, you're at the end of this situation. You're at the end of the road. I mean, that's what the cards are saying. And and so there does seem to be a lot of movement and change for you fives in this month of March in all different areas of your life. And there's this theme of if you gotta let something go for a little while, let something go for a little while, step back and see what happens. Wow. I know that when we're not talking about, we're not doing a one-on-one reading, so we're not talking about a specific situation, and it can sound a little confusing, but I know that when I listen back and I have the thought in my head, I can make it work for me, or perhaps, I can't, and I have to give it a miss for this month, and hope next month the answer applies to my question. But I'm going to leave it at that, fives, because I don't want to confuse you anymore. I thank you so much for tuning in. If you do have a specific question you'd like to ask me, please just jump on to my website at gemmaswindow@gmail.com and set up a reading for yourself. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do. I would love to have you, of course. And until next time, fives, we'll see you in April. Bye for now.